Alright guys, I got a quick little unboxing and product review for you guys. This is a thermal imaging camera as well as a multimeter. It's a 2-in-1 item, and this is the HCALORY thermal imaging camera model TSM. We're gonna go ahead and unbox it, walk you through some of the useful things this camera provides, some of the pros and cons for it, and how you can use it in vehicle applications. All right, it does come in a nice little pouch here, and once you open the pouch, you have the product itself. You have a couple of leads for the multimeter, the positive and negative. You do have a nice owner's manual that is in color, and it can explain all the features of this device. You also do have a macro lens, and I'll explain where the macro lens comes in handy. And you are also included a USB-C charger right over here. Speaking of USB charger, this thing lasts about 7 hours fully charged. As you can see from the outside, pretty simple design. You got your USB-C port here on the side, power on switch, toggle switches, back button, OK button, and these are your inputs for your multimeter. So pretty simple device. Your IR camera is in the back. It does have magnetic inputs in here, so that macro lens, I'm going to demonstrate how it works. As you can see right over here, this is the macro lens, and it does have these two little inputs here that will perfectly align on the camera itself. All right, there you go. It's sitting nice and flush right now with the macro lens. It's pretty sturdy in there. I don't think it's going to be flying away. Some people are complaining about this being finicky and able to fly off, but so far seems pretty good. And if you are not using the micro lens, you can actually just flip it around and put it on the opposite side. You have to kind of rotate it for it to fall into place properly. And there you go. If you're not using it, there it is. I have to agree though, this would be easier if it was just a slider, because then you won't risk the chances of this falling off and you losing your macro lens. So if it was built in just on a slide, would have been a little bit more efficient. It does come with a little stand here, so when you're working on something, you can just prop it up, and while you're checking things or using the multimeter, it is able to stand. But aside all that stuff, let's get into the options of this camera and why you would be getting a camera like this and what you would be using it for. The key features of this is, again, the thermal imaging camera with the multimeter design. Stores up to 60 thermal images, 240 by 320 resolution with a 3.2-inch LCD screen. You have different color palettes for your heat ranges, macro lens options, 5 language options, 1500 milliamp rechargeable battery, and so forth. All right, so I'm going to power it on, go through the options real quick. So you have options of thermal imaging camera, which is what we're going to start off with. I already changed the calibration and settings to go into Fahrenheit. And as you can see, we are able to see heat and coolness and temperatures. All right, so this is the camera. I'm pointing it to a LED light that is on right now, and you can see the color difference between the surrounding room. And you can see also the minimum and maximum temperatures, and the center icon that you can see wherever I point it, it's going to take that temperature. So for right now, you can see I'm pointing it to this beam on the roof, 27 degrees Fahrenheit. If I point it into this light, especially the ring, you see how that temperature changes on the top left corner. So it's detecting the heat and the infrared. And here's your other light right over here. You can also see it. This is another LED light that I have right here, and you can clearly see the heat being pushed out of it. This one's running hotter at around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's a picture of me. And the way it works is it actually has a red plus on the screen on the bottom right corner, which indicates the hottest part of the screen. And then it also has a green mark that you can see intermittently on the top right. and that's going to show you the lowest temperature in the screen. So for example, now I'm going to show you guys my hand, and I'm going to place it on the metal right under me, and then we're going to move my hand out, and you can kind of see that hot spot that was left behind in that specific area. So another thing we can do as we're looking at the screen here, we can change the color palette. So there's different options, 7 screens, and they're going to dictate what is hot and what is cool. So it depends how you want to look at it, but it all serves the same function of showing you what's hot and what's cool in different colors. Black and white, white and black, and so forth. You can see where the heat is again. And if you do want to save an image, all you have to do is press and hold OK, and it's going to save the image onto the device. Now that we kind of went over the thermal imaging camera, I want to talk about the digital multimeter. And one cool thing I really like about this product is the fact that you have everything digitally laid out. You have plenty of options right over here depending on what you're looking for. Actually, in the owner's manual, it will tell you what each one is for. All right, so these are all the multimeter functions right here: DC voltage, AC voltage, DC AC current, resistance, continuity, diode test, fuse specifications, and whatnot. But the really cool thing is, for me, I'm not a big electrician guy. I'm not too great with this stuff. I always got confused on my old Harbor Freight multimeter where these electrodes or where these grounds go into. And actually, depending on what you're testing, this one tells you which location it needs to go to. So as we go through the settings here, you see they actually even flash on the bottom. That's awesome. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It tells you on the screen, and it also flashes where you need to connect your stuff to. So that's awesome. That way you know you're taking the correct value and measurement instead of guessing or referring back to the owner's manual every time you have to use it. So let's check the DC voltage here on the Honda HR-V. All right, so let's check the voltage here. A little bit of a lag, but nothing crazy. We got 12.47 volts on this brand new battery in this 2026 Honda HR-V. All right, what uses can you use this in your motor vehicle applications? Well, first things first, you can check your fuse box for any parasitic draw. If there's a fuse that's currently running and drawing power, you can go over the fuse box and you will be able to see which fuse is heated up. That fuse is typically the reason for your power loss and battery drainage. Another thing you can do is check your thermostat. You can go over this thermostat hose with the temperature gauge and the infrared detector, and you'll be able to see if the top radiator hose or the bottom is flowing hot coolant. And that way you know your thermostat is opening or closing and flowing efficiently. Now, not this engine specifically, since this is a one-piece header design, but if you're having an older engine with a tube coming off each cylinder, and let's say you have a misfire in your engine, you can actually take the infrared camera, point it on the header, and you will see some of the headers getting hot, and there will be one header that does not get hot. That header that is low on heat is usually where the misfire is taking place. And then you can also see, if you're having a vehicle with a turbocharger, you can see the insufficiencies maybe on the downpipe or the turbo itself. And you can think about possibly getting a wrap for your downpipe or a heater blanket, a turbo blanket for your turbo itself to keep the temperatures down in the engine bay. And that way you can compare before and after and see if the heat devices are working. You can also possibly check before you ceramic coat your downpipe and your turbo pipes, and then after ceramic coating, and you can see the changes in temperature. Again, you can change the temperature palette. Right now this engine is stone cold. Another thing you can do once you start driving your car, you can take the heat detector and point it at the wheels. A lot of times, if the caliper is dragging and you're having excessive friction, one wheel will read much warmer than the other wheel, and that will be telling you some clues whether the caliper are seized or they're sticking, or potentially, like in my Honda Civic, the brake line hose wasn't bleeding the fluid back into the master cylinder, and it was gripping the brakes at all times, causing excessive pad wear. So this is one good thing you can do and check in your vehicle to save your brakes. Inside the vehicle, we do have heated seats. So I'm going to turn on the heated seats and we're going to compare before. You see the sun is actually on this seat, and you can see the sun is heating up the seat itself. So maybe we'll get it in the shade and we'll compare before and after of the heated seats, and we'll see if it actually has heated seats just on the bottom or on the backrest as well. What you can do is also test the air vents. Depending if heat is coming out of them or not, you can compare. If it's cold, it will be blue, and if it's warm, it's going to have a nice red tint to it. If your vehicle has a windshield or rear window defroster, to make sure it's working properly and the heat is being activated, you can go ahead and pull up the infrared and see if it lines up. If it lines up and that you can see the heated lines, then you know all your defrosters are working. Also, one thing you can check is if you have really bad wheel bearings and they're making a lot of noise, you can actually use the infrared camera to see if one hub is getting much warmer than the other hub, and that can kind of tell you usually which wheel bearing is causing the issue and the noise. So these are some of the uses for the thermal imaging camera. They currently don't make the HCALORY in this model anymore, but besides the point, you can get another type of thermal imaging camera from another brand. It all has the same features and functions for the most part, and you can help diagnose some of these little key things that we talked about in this video. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and like this video. I ain't here for the money.